Congratulations, Roger. Did that pretty much go according to plan?
Well, I mean, there's several plans when you enter a match, but I think it definitely went as good as it could have possibly could have gone. So I'm pleased with the way I started the match right away. Again, got off a great start against him, like I did against him a few years ago, and then after that, naturally everything's easier. And second set was definitely key to shut it down for him. It was good that I was able to break back after he played a good game there, and and then in the third set, I think I was rolling. So it was a nice match. I think I played great. And Mischa had a wonderful tournament, so well done to him.
Roger, there was a phase passage in the game in the second set where he went back to the baseline strategy. And then when he started going back again to the net play, you started breaking him again. Were you a bit surprised that he changed again, went back to his serve and volley?
He always served and volleyed. He never changed. I think if you look at the stats, I think he served and volleyed first, second, 100%. I think you're wrong. I hope you're wrong. I hope you're wrong. Because my recollection is that he came in all the time.
Of the 8 matches you've played since you come back after 6 months, what's been the thing that's most surprised you?
I think winning back-to-back matches, in best of 5 sets against quality great players. Really that's been, for me, the big question mark if I could do that so early in my comeback. I felt that was always going to be dangerous on any given day in a match situation, but obviously as the tournament would progress, maybe I would fade away with energy or that kind of stuff. So I think now that I'm in the semis and feeling as good as I am and playing as good as I am, that's a huge surprise to me. If someone, like I said on court, if someone would have told me I'm playing the semis against Stan, there's never would I have called that one for me. For Stan, yes, not for me. And I honestly didn't even know until like a few days ago that he was in my section of the draw, if you like, or I'm in his section. I don't even know whether, I figured it out eventually that he was playing on my days, but I really never looked in that quarter of the draw because that was just too unrealistic for me.
Roger, can you look at Stan, like the dynamics have obviously changed from when you first started playing whatever, now that he's a 3-time Grand Slam champion and everything. Can you talk about how those dynamics have changed?
Yeah, like a lot of guys, I was able to play them when they were young, which is, I guess, for the head-to-head, it's an advantage. I don't care much about head-to-heads in general because I feel like every day is a different matchup. So I think in the beginning he was really struggling on faster courts. I played him in Rotterdam and other places, and you could sense in his footwork and in the way he was returning that he was uncomfortable on them. That's why it was incredible for me to see that his first Grand Slam that he was going to win was going to be the Australian Open. If I would have called any slam for him to win, it was always going to be the French because he moved so effortless on clay, and the way that's his base, that's his DNA really. So I think he's done incredibly well on all the other surfaces, including grass actually, and then also indoors and hard and fast. He's become such a good player that I super respect that the guy is able to transform his game around like that, in his footwork, in his mind, and then also in his game plan. So that's his transformation, and I like what I saw. He's always been a believer that he can do it, and it shows how far you can go.
Do you think that, given how well you've played without having played for 6 months, do you think this going forward you might be able to take longer chunks off in your schedule?
Every time 6 months I play a tournament, take 6 months off. I'll have no more ranking eventually because I won't be able to win every single time when I do come back. No, but I always felt like breaks were important for me, and if you think back, I've always played, but I always also took bigger vacations or bigger breaks. I know you don't know exactly what I do on my time off or when you don't see me after Wimbledon, what I do until Cincinnati or the Canadian Open, or what I do after the year is over. But I remember in my best years, sometimes I wouldn't hit tennis balls for 4 to 5 weeks. So, and I think that was really important for me to look at the longevity aspect. I mean, sometimes I was talking to the team and thinking it was just too much time off almost, because I had all this momentum going for me and I would just throw it out of the window for longevity. And it's so nice to play when you're confident, because to get that kind of confidence after winning a slam and not playing anymore, it's kind of a bit of a waste actually. You should be playing then, because you can just keep playing with confidence. But I guess looking back overall, it was probably a good decision to take. I hope the 6 months are going to help me in the future, but I think it's still super early stages in my comeback, that I first want to play now first a couple of months now on tour, and then really reassess maybe by April how then the schedule is going to look like for down the road. But I will probably never be able to play 27 tournaments a year anymore. I mean, we know that all, but maybe instead of playing 22 you play 18, or instead of 20 you play 17. I don't know, that could possibly totally happen. But you always need the right balance. I feel like enough practice, enough matches, enough time off, and I guess as you get older everything becomes a bit different.
What's the biggest change you've seen in Stan off court or in your relationship since he's won these 3 Grand Slams, become a bit more on your level, ahead of you in the rankings? I mean, has that shifted the dynamics between you two, just as two people who've known each other for a long time?
I don't recall exactly when that started to happen, but I remember giving Stan a lot of advice on how he should play certain guys. And what I liked with Stan is if I would tell him something, I felt like he was able to do it. And that showed me that he's a great player, that he's got a mind of somebody who understands what I'm trying to explain him. Because some players, you tell them something and they just got no clue what to do or what it means. And Stan had that early on, so I think he was a great learner. And then the day came where he didn't call me so much anymore, and he called me less and less, and I felt like also I didn't need to tell him more, because I felt like he had created all his knowledge and his base, and he had his team, and only from time to time would I give him advice if he asked me, but otherwise I was happy that he was able to let go and just go on his own path. And don't remember when that was, but it was definitely, I think, sort of a few years before his first Grand Slam. And so it's been there. I have, yes, of course I have. Yeah, I mean, we used to always talk to one another naturally in the Davis Cup, because then you're on the same team and you would talk about players. But it has happened, but it's been 95% me giving him advice.
Do you think he knows your game better than anyone else left in the draw, and does he therefore represent a greater danger?
Yeah, I mean, I think him and Rafa probably know my game best. I played him so much. I've practiced so much together. With Rafa, I've only practiced once in my life, whereas with Stan, I can't even keep count anymore. So, yeah, I guess those two guys know me very well.